Hey guys, real quick, if you like the content of my video, if you know somebody that has kind of been through this before, if you know somebody that likes family ancestry and things like that, make sure to share my channel with them. That'll help me out a lot with YouTube. It'll get me in suggested searches and playlists and things like that. Thanks so much, guys. Bye. Hey y'all, and welcome back to Tobacco Leaf Legacies. I'm Cheryl, and I just wanted to do a quick intro for this video. You know, sometimes I do some recordings that I know exactly kind of what I want to do in the video, what I want to share. You know, I've kind of got it planned out. Other times, moments hit me or thoughts hit me or whatever, and I just kind of grab the video camera and start recording, and then I had to figure it out later. I was in the top of the horse barn doing some cleaning out, and things got a little real up there as I was talking, and as I was up there, you know, I started feeling and thinking and having all these thoughts, and you know, I had my camera up there, and I just thought, you know, it's time to do some recording. And like I said, it gets a little real and a little emotional, but that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to share this stuff. And you know, it's not fun, and I don't know, maybe is it hard to watch? Maybe. But you know, sometimes life is hard to watch. Sometimes our emotions and going through these things, they're hard to watch. You know, they're hard to go through. They're hard to deal with. But we have to. You know, we have to anyway. And so then the other one, I mean, I'm not going to apologize for that. I'm trying to get through this as best I can, and when these moments hit, sometimes I feel like it's important to capture them and to share them. And I just hope that there are people out there that can sympathize with this, because they have gone through something similar, because they have had a loss like that. You know, I always put these little reminders. Yeah, that's thunder. I always have these little reminders I put at the beginning of videos, but it would really help to, you know, read your comments and read your feelings about situations, maybe similar situations that you've gone through. You know, sharing our pain does help, and that's how we start to heal. And I just feel like it's very important. And it's a little emotional, but sometimes you'll have that. So, thanks for watching, guys. Okay, so I am, excuse me, it's so dusty up here. I'm up in the top of the horse barn trying to, I know it's kind of hard to see, trying to clean up and stuff. And I know somebody's like, why are you cleaning up? You're gonna lose it and whatever, but some of the wood in here is already a little compromised. Flip this around. See that hole? Yeah, see that hole? Yeah, so compromised wood. We've got a spot up there, and having a bunch of leaves and mess like this in here, even though it's mostly covered, it still gets damp. I mean, it still gets, you know, and that's the kind of stuff that will just mess up the floor even worse. So I guess I'm trying to first make sure there's nothing under it, you know, maybe something kind of hidden under all the leaves and whatever that I might feel like keeping. But it's also trying to do that and, you know, make sure the floor is, I don't know, will last at least a few more months, as long as I need to have it last. Anyway, let's flip this around again. I thought, see over here, that hole and that hole, you saw me moving the wood that was on top of it. And I thought at a glance, because I had never really checked out this spot over here, I thought that was like another compromised area, right? No, it's not. Granddaddy had mules, jackasses. I know he had those. I'm not sure if they had horses or not. I don't think so. I think it was more like the work mules, you know, that kind of thing. And so I'm assuming that they probably kept a lot of hay up here, and I think, flip it around again, I may have to get my little flashlight here, so bear with me a nanosecond. Okay. So you see how this is fixed right here? Oh, I need to get back in there and get some stuff out, don't I? So I'm assuming that maybe this was to throw, you know, it was open up here on purpose to throw hay down for the animals. See, we got it over here too. See, down in here. So now I'm like, well, wait a minute. Excuse me. These holes are here on purpose. That was not compromised wood. Granddaddy did that. Like I said, and I'm assuming, because I know he had animals, so he maybe would get the hay up here, you know, get the bales or however they did it, you know, get it up here, and then could just kind of, you know, pitchfork it down in there for them, for bedding, food. I don't really know what Mills ate, but anyway, that was just kind of a little revelation this morning where I was like, oh, look at that. That's cool. You know, it's amazing how as I'm going through and doing stuff like this, that I'm still like working on the family narrative, you know, like I'm still learning and kind of figuring out, oh, this was this, and oh, and this is probably what this was used for, and oh my gosh, you know, isn't that cool? And you know, that's why I always, you know, encourage you to kind of dig around and look and whatever, because you kind of really just never know what you're going to find. Okay, back to sweeping. Yay! Just doing a bit of recording here at the top of the horse barn. I spent a lot of time in here today cleaning up. So I'm gonna flip this around so I can show off how clean the floor is. Look at that. Got our bad spot over there. We won't talk about that. But look how pretty. This floor has not been this clean in, I don't know, 30 years? I don't know how Granddaddy kept it, but it's always been a bit rough up here. It's always just kind of in storage. The last few years, Dad didn't really do, you know, the same kind of stuff with it that Granddaddy did. I've worked really hard in here to clean it up, and I know people would be like, well, what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? You're gonna lose it. And that's true. It's true. But it doesn't mean that, you know, it's gotta be filthy. It just doesn't mean that. And I don't know, there's something about the cleaning it up that I guess helps me, here go the waterworks again, and helps me connect to my grandparents, because I feel their energy here. I know how hard they worked. I mean, both Mama and Granddaddy were such hard workers, and I just feel that. And it's so strong. So it may be a little twisted, but it kind of makes me feel good that I'm kind of working in the same place, you know, where they were working hard, and like being up here, you know, I try to imagine Granddaddy, because I'm assuming it was, hang on, change hands. I'm assuming it was mostly probably Granddaddy up here, although Mama probably, I'm sure, came up and helped him, and, you know, I'm sure she did whatever she needed to do, you know, to help him get stuff done. And, you know, the little kind of holes over here in the floor that I figured out were actually, you know, meant to be there. Goodness. I like to picture him up here, maybe with the hay, you know, a bunch of hay, and shoveling it down, you know, for the mules, and maybe whatever other use he used it for. I mean, I'm assuming, you know, that's what it was. And I don't know. I don't think they did a lot of tobacco stuff here. I mean, I think that's, you know, mainly for what they use the pack house for. But it's the connecting, you know. It's only a few months and I'm not going to have this. And I try so hard not to focus on that. And like I've said before, not to, this is last, this is, you know, last, whatever. I just try so hard. I'm not going to have this in a few months. And every time I think about that, and when I'm out here, and especially when I feel my grandparents, and to think that I can't, that in a few months I'm not going to be able to do that. Like I'm not going to be able to come out here anymore and feel that connection. And I feel it maybe with some of their possessions, you know. I hope so. I hope so, because it's why I cling so hard to what I've got of theirs, because it's all I've got. And I've mentioned before, you know, my brother's got the memories because he had so much wonderful time with him. And I didn't. And I want it so bad. And so for me, the next best thing is being here. Where they were. Where they worked. And I'm not going to have that either. And sometimes it's just, I kind of come back to, how am I going to do this? How do I not have the memories like I would love to have, but then not have the buildings, the space, the land where I feel them. I mean, I just feel like losing everything. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's one of those things that you either fully understand or you don't get. And I mean, who knows? Maybe you have to feel it. Maybe you have to have that connection. Maybe, you know, maybe it has to be inside you to fully understand. I mean, I'm sure there are things that people feel, that situations that maybe I haven't been through, and maybe I wouldn't be able to connect. I mean, I feel like maybe if it's this kind of stuff, I would kind of understand, but this is where they are, and this is where I feel them, and I already don't have as many memories as my brother, and then I'm not gonna have this. I'm just gonna feel so, God, so broken and empty and just lost, because this is my home. And it was my mom's home, my parents' home, you know, there for a while. My grandparents' home. It's been home for us for almost 100 years. How do I go on? How do I go on after that? God. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. I do know I do know I'll have to. Life goes on, even when we need it to pause for a while so we can catch up. But it doesn't. Minutes tick by at the same rate, days tick by at the same rate, and they don't wait for you. They don't wait for you. Time does not care what you're going through and how you feel about it. It moves on at the same rate every day. Well, the time that humans have, allotted to it anyway, but still, sun, moon, everything just continues on its path, regardless of whether you're falling apart or whether you're not. So the days will go on, but I just don't know how. Well, I don't guess it will be possible to fill such a void. You don't fill a void like this. It's not possible. Yes, I will. The plan is to go to the mountains. I mentioned that a little bit because that is my home. I love the mountains. And after losing so big of a part of me here, because I'm leaving like half my heart here. Can't take it with me. A big chunk is staying right here. But I will go to the mountains, and I will have my grandparents, furniture and all of the pieces that I've taken out of stuff, and I'm going to have to find a way. There's always going to be the emptiness. There's always going to be that hollow spot that was left here. And nothing is ever going to change that. Nothing is ever going to soothe that. There's no time that's going to soothe that. But it's the reality. As I said before, this is the reality. And that is why I'm taking so much and clinging to so much in the hopes that when I do get to the mountains, that the mountains will help soothe, and that having, the furniture and the things and the bits and pieces from the buildings, I am just desperately hoping that it will soothe, that it will be enough. Because y'all, there's some really, really, really hard days coming up at the end of this year and following. It's not just the one day when I drive away from here that's going to be rough. It's well, like I've said in another video, it's when somebody has passed. The grieving doesn't end with the funeral. The grieving begins after the funeral ends, after everybody goes home. When you're by yourself and the tears come, that's when the grieving starts. And this, to me, the land, the buildings, everything is a person. It's an entity, and I've referenced that before. And that's when the grieving will start. Technically it's starting now, but now I can still be here. I can still be here and touch things and connect and, come out here and do all that. And when I can't, and when I'm just left with, my pieces, that's what I'm going to cling to. And grieving over the parents was rough. If you've lost your parents, you know what I'm talking about. Those are some dark, dark days. And I'm just hoping that I don't have as many dark days. There'll be dark days, but I guess I'm hoping I don't have as many Here, I don't know, guys. Said before, I just don't know how I'm gonna walk away from here.